the Nacc Podcast Know the Corruption, Know the Truth.
Welcome to the Nacc Podcast Know the Corruption, Know the Truth. And today's episode, we invited you to know about procurement, the root of corruption. To be honest, the question that has been on my mind for a long time, I still wonder. I don't have an answer. It's stuck somehow.
What's the question? Why has it been stuck in my mind for so long?
It's about procurement in both the public and private sectors. I still hear faintly or clearly that Thai procurement involves spec locking, bid fraud, or anything that implies cheating and corruption. What's going on?
Would you believe that the root of corruption in both the public and private sectors lies in procurement?
While you're using the word root, it makes me feel bad when I hear it. Why is it like this?
There is an assessment that corrupt procurement costs the country 30-40% of the national budget, which in fiscal year 2023 is around 3.185 trillion baht. We consider that 1/3 or around 1 trillion baht must be spent on procurement activities. According to the budget framework requested and corrupted, around 30-40%. It means that we lose around 300-400 billion baht per year to the country's corruption process. And the overall picture of fiscal year 2023, there were 9,254 accusations submitted to the Nacc. Budget amount that was corrupted according to the accusations in fiscal year 2023 was found to be worth a total of 26,247 million baht. The type of accusation with the highest corruption value was procurement, with a corruption value of 13,391 million baht, accounting for 51.02%.
Hearing this, it's very sad. Then if we were cheated to that extent, why can Thailand still move forward?
Because the main components of the procurement process include setting the specs of the work or product, calculating the median price, bidding or bidding, signing the contract, managing the contract, inspecting the work, and disbursing money. It is a process that can lead to corruption at every step. It is a source of income for many fraudsters. Normally, according to the procurement system, the details of the work to be procured will be announced to the business operators first. This is a step that complies with the requirements for disclosure of transparency. However, what the private sector knows well is the issue of kickbacks and spec locking sometimes. The writing of the TOR content clearly benefits one company. Moreover, there is currently an opening for consideration by stating that the lowest price is not used as a criterion for consideration to win the job. It raises questions about how well the technical cores of the winning company performed and why they got the job.
While it's very mysterious and complicated, it's a terrible cycle.
In addition, when looking at the inspection and acceptance process, how strict and flexible it will be depends on the discretion of the appointed committee. Many projects are awarded regardless of who sponsors them or how transparent they are. The gratuity is not satisfactory. There will often be obstacles during the work inspection and acceptance process. Some projects are ordered to be revised until there is almost no profit left. It is almost bloody before disbursement can be made. This has caused some entrepreneurs who are fed up with the government procurement process to decide to stop taking the risk of submitting projects even though the money is so sweet. But the cash flow is not long enough, because in addition to being hard to eat, there's also the risk of losing money or not being worth the profit in many cases.
I have heard that local government organizations have a budget of hundreds of billions, so there is a high chance of corruption. Is that true?
Try listening to this information, it may have the answer. Local government organizations nationwide consist of 76 provincial administrative organizations, 2,472 municipalities, divided into 30 city municipalities, 195 town municipalities, and 2,000 247 sub-district municipalities, 5,300 sub-district administrative organizations, 4 special local government organizations, Bangkok and Pattaya City, 2 places, totaling 7,850 places, with a total budget of more than 800 billion baht per year.
That's it. A really lavish budget.
Local administrative organizations have a lot of power and influence to determine who gets the job and who doesn't. From the complaints about corruption that the National Anti-Corruption Commission (NACC) has received, out of thousands of complaints, 1 in 3 are corruption in local administrative organizations. The most complained about issue is illegal actions by officials who perform or neglect their duties improperly. The next most common complaint is corruption in procurement projects. However, even though there is a lot of corruption in local administrative organizations, there are still people or various anti-corruption organizations acting as watchdogs to monitor the situation. For example, the NACC itself has a network of people called the STRONG, Club Sufficiency Economy, against corruption that monitors and goes down to the area to inspect, especially special budgets, repair and construction budgets, etc. If it sees any signs of corruption, it is often exposed until the matter that should be quiet, finally not quiet.
How can we prevent corruption in procurement?
At present, our agency that has been assigned to be the Center of Government Procurement is the Government Procurement Standards Office under the Comptroller General's Department, which is responsible for supervising and managing government procurement, implementing laws, regulations, and rules related to government procurement, setting policies and guidelines for developing the government procurement system, setting standards, guidelines, and criteria for setting the median price of government construction work, studying, considering, and setting measures to prevent collusion in procurement.
It's somewhat reassuring that we still have a mechanism to monitor the government sector working in parallel.
The process of public procurement is an important process for budget execution. When the national budget is allocated through consideration by the Parliament and then acted as an annual Budget Expenditure Act, government departments and agencies will be able to use the budget they have received in accordance with the objectives of the projects or missions that they have requested.
I wonder if there are many complaints about improper procurement these days.
In fact, the value of annual public procurement each year is enormous. This does not include large projects that may total more than half or even more than the country's entire annual budget. The performance of the House of Representatives Anti-Corruption Commission's duties from 2005 until present complaints about improper procurement account for more than 80% of all complaints.
More than 80%. That's too much. I'm shocked. It's all about the national budget.
Since the electronic auction format was introduced for government procurement, the results of the initial implementation showed that many projects were able to procure below the set budget. However, on the contrary, there are still complaints about many projects of government agencies that hold electronic auctions. Therefore, I have a question about how much electronic auctions, which are the latest procurement method, can help prevent or reduce corruption in government procurement.
Although corruption in the procurement process has been a major loophole that has been ingrained in Thailand for a long time, I still have hope and believe that the roots of corruption in both the public and private sectors will be completely eradicated. Through the eyes of Thai people like us, who will create a great ripple effect. What has been hidden will be exposed. Trust ties. We must help each other. Honest, fair, professional, transparent, verifiable. Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission.